Last night, it was Ottawa. Had nothing to do with any of the playoff races. It had everything to do with Bobby Ryan, who played his first home game since leaving the team 3 months ago to deal with his ongoing battle with alcohol. Ryan playing in the game was a great story. Just playing in the game was a great story. Scoring his first hat trick in more than 5 years made an unforgettable night.
Zaitsev long shot, tipped in, Bobby Ryan. Second of the season for Bobby Ryan, who missed all that time. And they're chanting his name here tonight. Now it's Senator Ryan, he shoots, he scores! Second of the game for Bobby Ryan. And an empty net, hat trick for Ryan.
Oh, Bobby Ryan, an emotional comeback.
And you see the emotion overcoming him now. Look at this, in his return to Ottawa, and he's got a hat trick on what turned into Bobby Ryan night.
The emotion was fantastic. What lesson do we take from a story like this?
I mean, this is not usually my lane, right? Like I'm not known for my heart.
Right.
And the two of us, you are the more empathetic at times of the human nature.
I probably shouldn't laugh at that, but yes, after working with you for over 10 years, yes.
It's a great story last night. We don't have to be super serious about it. It was a super serious deal that Bobby Ryan went through. It was great to see that last night. And I think the lesson is, it's more of a personal lesson that I'm taking from it, because I saw Bobby Ryan and labeled him, quite frankly, the last several years as the overpaid bust who is never going to have another day in the sun. I also didn't know the full extent of what Bobby was kind of going through. So, a lesson I often sometimes learn through this business and in life: don't judge the book immediately by its cover. There might be something else going on. That's the first lesson I take from this.
Right.
And the importance of family. Like you saw his wife in the crowd numerous times last night. Saw it all over the highlights yesterday. The toll this took, and the toll these types of situations take on everybody in the family.
Yeah.
This is not just a Bobby Ryan story. This is anyone who was close to Bobby, his loved ones, his wife, his family, everybody. And just by hearing Brian Burke talk earlier today on Hockey Central at noon, Bobby was a guy, you come across him in hockey, you were in. You were a Bobby Ryan fan.
Yeah,
regardless of what he did on that given night or didn't do on a given night. You were in his corner. So just the bigger life lessons this teaches us is kind of what I'm pulling from this. And look, there haven't been a lot of great moments in Ottawa the last several years. We all know this. The reaction that crowd gave him, just all of it was great. But big picture, I just get reminded of a few things in a situation like this, and that's what I get.
But it shouldn't just be you. It should be a great reminder for everyone that when a player on your favorite team isn't doing what you expect, or a guy hasn't lived up to expectations, maybe from the start of his career, that there can be more to the story.
Correct.
Also a great reminder for anyone who thinks that they can't do it, you can. And Bobby Ryan just gave you the inspiration that you need if you want to take that next step in your life, because it can be done and you can get back to where you want to be. And last night was proof of that. So if you're afraid to go looking for help, don't. Because Bobby Ryan did it. He did it in front of everybody, and he got his wonderful, wonderful story. And I don't want to get preachy, but it's not over. Like, we have a tendency to do this where the story gets its storybook, and everyone closes it.
On to the next thing.
It's not.
Yeah.
He needs the support throughout. And anyone that you know that has gone through something like this also needs the support. When they're done, they're never really done. So that support that you give them, that energy that you give them, that energy that Ottawa gave Bobby Ryan in that moment should never stop. And it's something that we all should remember, as well as the first thing that you pointed out there, because I think that's really important too, is someone at this level, just because they're playing pro sports, might not have everything on their side, and it's important for fans and for us to remember that every once in a while. And I love the story that Bobby Ryan said Danielle was the first star, his wife.
Oh, first, second, and third.
Yeah.
I mean, and remember, if you're a professional athlete, maybe not at the NFL guys live a different life schedule-wise, but if you're a baseball player, hockey player, basketball player, and this disease is in your life, and it's always going to be there for Bobby Ryan, right? There is no cure.
Right.
As anyone who's gone through this will tell you, there is no cure. The road trips are dangerous. The downtime away from home is dangerous, and the support of the guys with him, that will be important as well in the days to follow. Like, you're right. We closed. We're gonna move on here any second and talk about a Leafs team that is a Jekyll and Hyde, and we're gonna go on into other stories after that. But you're right, because we closed this book here. He can't.
Right.
And I just think we need to respect that a bit more in this move on culture that we live in a little bit. And I think it's worth remembering. So again, for the evening, congratulations, Bobby. It was great to see you again.
I want to mention this too because I thought it was amazing. Also noticed in the Sportsnet tweet about the story, and I'm one to do this. You know that. I always look at first response, and it's from a woman by the name of Gemma Nicholson, who just said, following the Sportsnet tweet, and I'll go to the Sportsnet tweet first, and then you can look at the
Sportsnet tweet is the reaction to the hat trick and Bobby Ryan welling up on the bench. It was a hell of a moment.
First response that I saw, Gemma Nicholson, who says, I just want to say thank you to the Canuck fans as well for cheering this good guy on. Even though their team lost, they joined in on the Bobby chants and the standing ovation. What a good bunch. Tonight was an amazing experience seeing this guy play his all. And there were a lot of Canuck fans in that audience last night in Ottawa, and to see them jump in on that kind of shows you what sports can really do sometimes.
Absolutely. I didn't even think of that part of it.
Even Travis Green. Did you hear Travis Green after? He said something along the lines is like, you don't ever like to lose or see other players score on you, but it was obvious by the reaction of the crowd that there's still a human element in the game, that when guys go through tough things or battle through things, it was just good to see him back out on the ice and playing.
Do you want to tie a bow on this with the Dan Murphy interview afterwards, and then we move on to the Leafs? You want to do that? This was, again, on Sportsnet Pacific, Dan Murphy after the game with Bobby Ryan following the hat trick.
Senators win 5-2, but the big story in this one is Bobby Ryan. And Bobby, I guess let's start chronologically. Your first game back on home ice in about 3 months with your family in attendance. What did it mean just to be back out here in front of the home fans?
Everything. I said the other day, I took the fact that I was doing this for a living for granted for a while, and I took everything for granted for a while. So my wife to stand by me and let me go get help, take on a lot, and for me to come back and contribute in that sense, it's just a family victory.
Score a goal, and that's when the first Bobby chant started. Just your reaction to the reaction the fan gave you?
A little choked up, and right. It's you don't seek praise for those, what I had to go through. So I said it a couple minutes ago that the Ottawa community is just incredible. I never doubted that they would be behind me, and they never let me down. So it was nice that we all got to enjoy this night as a group.
It's been a great day for Bobby Ryan, the human, but what about Bobby Ryan now, the hockey player, moving forward?
Yeah, we're just trying to move forward, right? All the stuff that's surrounding me for the last 3 months is going to die down as I go forward, and just continue to contribute and continue to stay in the shape that I was able to get in over the last 2 months with the continuous bag skates and things like that. I want to reward DJ for allowing me to do it. You feel like you let him down as well, and it's just a lot. So just continue to move forward.
Congratulations on a great night.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And see him getting emotional at the end there. And why not?
In all the interviews he did after the game last night, I was stunned he kind of kept it together the way he did. You saw him kind of break a couple times. But, again, just a really unique night that a lot of people won't forget in Ottawa. That's the last thing I want to say.
Congratulations, Bobby, and keep it going.